Hello, true believers. This is Vendetta coming at you with another vlog. And I know I'm supposed to do a vlog about the electric scooter that I just got. And we don't have time right now to do a complete review on it because Hero's got 3 quizzes today and I was going to have him help me out on do the review. So we'll have to do it when he doesn't have so much schoolwork. So I decided to do this video over here. This is a Facebook conversation I just had last night, and I just kind of wanted to share it with everyone to kind of let everyone know what is the state of the nation here, or just the state of the environment over here. So here's a conversation I had, and I'm using Facebook, and I'm using this like a new dummy account, and the girls that I've known in the past, you're talking about 3 years ago, okay? And I'm slowly, I'll message them on Facebook just to kind of catch up because, like I said, it's been 3 years. I mean, I used to see them on a regular basis, and to kind of give you a background, this is one of the girls that I would meet, one of the girls that I have met. And what's special about this girl is why I decided to send her a message. First of all, I didn't know what she was going to say, or how was she going to react. So I just said a simple hi. So I just said hello. And I didn't know if she's going to respond, because sometimes these Facebook accounts, they're not updated. They're not, people don't regular visit them. So this was kind of a crapshoot. I didn't know if she was going to see it and what she was going to say. So I decided, you know what, why not? It's been, like, you're talking about 4 months since I've been out of prison. So I just wanted to see what the response is like when I get out. And I just wanted to kind of share you what their response is in Facebook, so you can get an idea or get a flavor of what's on their minds. And the first thing she asked was, I said hello, and the first thing she asked was, who is this? All right. And I covered up the name that I use with them, because the name has, they kind of picked it. They picked the name for me. It wasn't really a name. I was using the name in a dummy account, and in Facebook you can't use a fake. Oh, you have to use like regular sounding names. You can't just use like Thruster or Starscream or Sideswipe. You have to use like a regular name. So I use like a name that it's kind of not that unique, but not common at the same time. But it's pretty much kind of, this area knows my name, and when you say it, they only know one thing. It's just instant recognition. So all I had to do was just say the name, and just to get through the barriers or the doubt, or because on Facebook, because there's so many fakers, there's so many posers, there's so many liars, there's so many scammers on Facebook that it's a dangerous place now, that you don't really talk to people if you don't know them or if you don't have a history of them. And I just wanted to show you how, at first, when I said hello, and then I covered up the name because I don't want people to know and like use the name to kind of get instant recognition or get access to them right away, because if you try to talk to somebody that you don't know on Facebook, they look at you like some kind of creep or some kind of weird stranger that they should, and naturally they should be scared of. But over here, she said the first thing she asks is, if she gets some strange from an account she doesn't know, she asks, who is this? So I'll translate, and she says, Sino to? I said, who is this? And I just said, the first name, the only name that they know. They don't know me as Bebot only. They don't know, because I never made their videos public and they never saw it. So I just said the name that they know me as. And it just kind of, I never told them my name. It's just kind of one of my dummy accounts that stuck, that I was using to communicate with them. I use Facebook just especially for communication purposes, because it makes it very convenient. So she said, who is this? And I said my name, and she says, oh, hello. Like, she's glad to hear from me. She says, so her next question is, you got nakalaya ka na, which means you have your freedom back. You're free again. It's like after so long. So this reaction, it means that she knows I was in prison, and she's like, oh, you're like you're free, as it's kind of has the flavor of, oh, finally, or we were expecting that you're gonna get out of this, right? Because if you talk to the girls, they know that they go, that's not anything, that's not even close. I'm not a rapist, I'm not a human trafficker. I don't take, like I said, I just take regular videos of them, like just hanging out. Back then, we're talking about 3 or 4 years ago, vlogging is kind of a new thing. And then when the pandemic, it started slowly becoming more popular. When, hold on, let me get rid of this. It started becoming, I can't see, got everything all covered up. And all of a sudden, everybody and their dog and their mother-in-law is vlogging here because there's nothing else to do, and there's like big money in it. Of course, if there's any money, people will do it, only to realize there isn't. You have to be very lucky. You have to have timing now too, and if you don't have luck or timing, then you're gonna need perseverance. And people over here don't have perseverance. They don't have any discipline. But for me, I do it because, like I said, it's something I enjoy. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy communicating, and I like the sound of my own voice. So so the impression was, oh, thank goodness that you're already, that you became free. Just, who knows, she might think that I'm just messaging her while I'm in internet prison, which is not allowed. But if you know the right people, remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know, that you can get out, that you can get even internet access. So here she was, but getting internet access in prison was not something that I was interested in. I said, you know what, I'll access the internet when I get out. I don't want to be doing it while I'm in prison. It'll just kind of make things worse. So she asked, do you got your freedom back? And I said, yes, but my fight is not over yet. And this is her response. This is kind of a funny response. She says, highs. It's like, sigh. Okay? Ikaw kasi, di ka nag-iingat eh. So the response, she's like, it's your fault because you're not careful. You're not being careful, eh? Because she's like, she's concerned that because I wasn't being careful that this happened. And it's not that I'm guilty, or it's not that she knows better. All these people know better that I'm not any of these things. As you can see, I just want to get everybody's the reaction of this girl towards me, just to get you an idea of what kind of person I am, what kind of, like, after 3 years, I messaged her out of the blue, and this is her reaction that I get. Even I haven't seen her in 3 years, and based on my experience, my interaction with her, she's telling me with concern that, like, you got your freedom back. It's like, because of you, because she's like a mother saying, because you're not careful, and look what happened. I said, well, I'm gonna file a case against the police eventually, because I told her I wanted to say, because this fight is not over yet. And then she said, and she goes, why? And I said, and then my response is just to kind of let her know that it's still, the struggle is still continuing, and I just kind of get her caught up on why, when, and why, because the police stole money from me. As you can see, they stole money from my credit cards, hacked into my accounts, my PayPal, my bank account, took Hero's football fund and college fund and braces for the girls. So, and then her response is, ikaw kasi, buti naalala mo pa ako, ha ha ha. So she said, because of you, she goes, because of you, like you, ikaw, it means you. You, it's like you, kasi, it's like, because of you, ikaw kasi, ikaw means you, kasi means because. So it's kind of like, it's like slang. You go, ikaw kasi, like you, it's kind of like it's like a term of endearment, because you're just you kind of thing. Ikaw kasi. So it's kind of like they're lambing. They're kind of like they're just being playful. It's like you already know what they mean when they say, they don't say much. Ikaw kasi is kind of like her first reaction. Like, why, the police did that, because of you, you're such a target. And so it's just, I just want to let you guys know what her response is. Ikaw kasi is her response to me filing against for the police, becoming criminals against me or stealing from me, becoming thieves, the robbers that they are, that I mean, naturally we know, I mean, I already went into it, what do you expect the police to do if because they need money also, just like everybody here, not just regular people, especially police. And what do you expect them to do? Because of because they'll rob people, they're scam people, just like all the Filipinos here that need money. How else are they going to get money over here? So it's just natural that if Filipinos, they need money, they have to scam people, and the police are definitely no different. They're just Filipinos also. So she said, and here's the next reaction. She says, "Ikaw kasi buti naalala mo pa ako, ha 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 ha." So the next part, because of you, she said, "Good thing is you still remember me." So she was like happy that I remembered her, because I mean, I remember all of them, of course. The names are kind of blurry. Like I said, I've been number one, I've been terrible with names, and number two, I'm older now. Number three, that was 3 years ago. I mean, 3 years is a long time for a young person. That's not a lot, but for an old person, as you get my age, I mean, I'm in my 40s now. When I started Bell, it's only 15 years ago. I was in my mid 30s. So it's a lot different now. I was in my early 30s. So it's it that kind of time becomes much more significant as time becomes more significant as you get older. So naalala mo pa ako. So she's happy that I remembered her, that she was actually, I just want to give everybody the flavor that she's actually happy that I messaged her. So all this was kind of instant. And so we're just kind of getting caught up. And I just said, alam mo na, police, they're greedy for money, is what I just said next. So I just kind of sum it up. And she says, and this is her reaction. I mean, this is, like I said, culture. There's something you don't need to explain, that, police criminals over here. It's just like natural. It's like police are not only the criminals here in the Philippines, not only the real criminals, but they're the biggest criminals here in the Philippines. And it's something you should know. I mean, I tried to stay away from them, I tried to be a civilian, but they kind of get me caught up in their war for their stealing, for their war to scam money out of people, just like all Filipinos here when it comes to money. She says, "Ganun talaga sa panahon ngayon." So she says that's the reality here, especially at this time because of the pandemic. Money is harder, work is harder, people are more desperate. So she's just saying that because of the environment today, that you're gonna have more police resorting to crime because they need money also. So she said, "Ganun talaga sa panahon ngayon." She says that's the reality, especially in this time, meaning she's alluding to the pandemic. So I said, alam mo naman, I told her the police, they're just full of lies. And then she says, oh, I don't really know. She said, di ko po alam. And it says, I told her that the police is corrupt. So I told her, oh, I need to translate. I can't barely read it. I'm so blind, or my eyes are kind of blurry. So I said, the police are corrupt. And it says, so I told her, I'll be careful. You're the only girl that I'm talking to. It's just dangerous. It's just dangerous when the girls are already being handled by the police. So I told her, so then after that, we got back to our own conversation. I said, good thing you remember me. So I said, mabuti naalala mo ako. It's like, good thing you remember me. And she says, oh, means yes. And hold on, let me scroll down. Oops. She says, of course, it's like a yes, ha ha ha. Ikaw, ingat ka. She says, you could say ingat ka. So this is how the girls are just kind of show their affection. So she could have said ingat ka, right? Be careful, but she says ikaw ingat ka. So it's like you better be careful. Like she's trying to give me like affection, saying that like, you better be careful. She's not that they're flirting in any way, but as you can see, there's emphasis on her and on her messages, on her chat. So this is kind of like when you chat with people over here, they do things subconsciously, they're reading between the lines. So if you read between the lines, you could see that she's genuinely happy to hear from me, and she's excited to talk to me, and she's excited about the prospects of talking to me, which is normal. And I'll tell you why is because of because I'm a man of action. I do what I say what I do, I follow up on what I say, and which makes me very unique, very different to them, and very memorable to them, because those are the kind of people that you want in your life, which is very what I don't want to say rare, but doesn't exist over here. Because, like I said, people, when they see somebody like me that don't not only live for today but live for tomorrow, that's something that makes a huge impression on them. And as you can see, is very positive, that we still have a very positive relationship, even if it was 3 years ago, even after what happened. So even they know that none of this is my fault. They know that I'm, of course, that they they know I'm innocent. Oh, that I was set up, and that even then, they're gonna say that, these are the girls that you're helping, and then they do this to you, right? And but we all know it's like when when it comes money is involved, everything changes. So that's what everybody needs to be careful with, especially because you're going to be a target also if you have money, especially if you're here long enough. I mean, here in the Philippines, you flip a coin, and eventually it's going to end up you're here long enough, you're always flipping a coin every day, and eventually you're going to get the wrong coin toss. So she told me to be careful affectionately. It's like ikaw is like it's her affection of being careful. You just be careful. And I said, yeah, of course. So I'm being affection back. So I said, oh yes, oh ikaw lang kinakausap ko para hindi ako mahamak. And I said, in translation, that's saying, yes, you're the only girl that I'm talking to, so nothing bad happens. And she asks, so meron ka palang mga kausap? And she asked, are you talking to anybody? And I said, I said no. And I go, not yet. And I'm just getting started, just because. And then we're gonna go into why she was the one I talked to. And so, like I said, I'm just getting the water. I'm just dipping my toe back in the pool. Whether I'm gonna get back in the game or not is one thing, because this is just all talk. But I mean, but this is how it all begins anyway. You got to talk to them before any action. So, I mean, talking doesn't cost anything, or doesn't cost me any time or any resources. So it's fine. We're just talking. So I just said, no, nobody yet. I'm just getting started, which is actually true. Getting what started? I don't know. It depends on the people that are watching this video. What is it that I'm going to get started again? So she says, oh, it's like that. Okay, you be careful. She's always saying, be careful. When a girl is telling you she's careful, that's her way of like flirting back with you. It's like, be careful. Did you eat? So she's very affectionate. She's kind of purring when I'm chatting. So I mean, but all the girls are like that. I mean, especially if you haven't talked to them for so long. So they're kind of they're happy, and they're saying, be careful again. And I said yes. Opo means it's like a yes, with a sign of respect. That usually something you give to elders, but you could do it to other people just to be respectful. So she's doing the same thing, and she says, yeah, I'll be careful. And she says, mabuti naman. So that's good. So just kind of small talk. And then I just says, how are you? And she says, I'm okay. She says, okay. I had to translate this because she misspelled it. She goes, I'm okay still. And she says, and so this is why I get into the reason why I'm messaging her. And I said, you know what? So I'll look. I'm like looking. I'm doing research online, and I said most or all of the Cavite girls have been pregnant. Okay, this is so in the 3 years that I've got, almost or all of them. Let's just say all of them are pregnant except this person over here, especially the pretty ones. Okay, and she's one of the cuter ones. I think she's cute, and a lot of people would say she's cute. But let's talk about her looks later. And I said, I said. Good thing that you don't have a baby yet. And she says, her response is, because when I'm doing her research, or I'm researching her online, and usually they show their baby, and that's when I can tell. But she doesn't have any pictures of any baby's mama. So I'm just confirming, good thing you don't have a baby. And she says, no, I don't have a baby yet. Wala pa is what it means. She goes, ha 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 ha. And I go, almost everyone. My response is, I'm looking at the other girls from in her group, in her field of, or in her network of friends. And I said, almost all of them, or all of them, already have a baby. And she confirmed, she said, yes, everyone. She says, oh, halos lahat talaga naunahan ako. She's saying that, yeah, everybody got a baby except me, or before me, is what she's saying. But it's more easier to digest or to translate. She says, yeah, everybody else has one already except me. But literally it says before me. Everybody has a baby before me. And I kind of added to the banter. They don't know, so at hindi nila alam sino yung ama, and they don't know who the father is what is my response. It's kind of a funny joke. I'm trying to be funny, and it's, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In this situation, she says it's funny. It's kind of this is kind of a cultural thing when teen girls get pregnant, early pregnancy, you kind of ask, well, who's the dad? Or it's like, who's the father? Because, older people are, there's usually it's their husband is normally the right answer. But over here, when it's a teen pregnancy, it's like they don't know. So they have to ask. Usually you don't. You already know who the dad is. But usually if it's a teen pregnancy, they ask because they don't know who it is. And she says, ha ha ha. She says weirdo or sira or broken. It's just like they're saying, goofball or idiot is sira in this situation. Because over here, the language, they use the same word. Not like in English, they have so many synonyms. Over here in Tagalog, it's the opposite. It's like the same word, but based on context, the meaning changes. Sira means broken or somebody that's insane. So in this situation, okay, that's the word I'm looking for. Insane. She goes, ha ha ha, insane. You're insane. You're crazy. So sara means crazy. Somebody's head that's went on the fritz is sara. She goes, I don't know. Di ko alam. Lumayo na ako sa kanila. She goes, she doesn't know. She kind of took a step from them, or she kind of distanced herself from them, from the single moms. And she says, I'm here in Pampanga. And I said, in Pampanga, it's like, so I said to myself, what are you doing there? It's just full of cheap Koreans, is what I said. I said, anong ginagawa mo dyan? Puro Koreano dyan, kuripot Koreano, so to be specific. But what are you doing there? That's just all full of cheap Koreans. This is my, I was just joke, being funny, racist. Of course, not all Koreans are cheap. But this is a private conversation between two people that I'm just sharing, but I'm not including her name. So she said, so it's anonymous. So I just said, the cheap Koreans. I mean, there's Koreans that are not cheap also. So no big deal. So she said, oh, because my aunt is here. So she's just explaining that she's just kind of visiting for a while, maybe because of the pandemic. But she says in her response that she's gonna come back home to Cavite. She says, pauwi na din ako sa Cavite. So I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe she's just saying it. If you're in one place, especially during this pandemic, you usually kind of stay there. But maybe she's just saying it. So there's a chance that we could see each other again. But if she's in Pampanga for a while, she might be there for a while, and then what is she gonna come back to here back in Cavite? And I said, oh, good. So I told her, because Pampanga is far, you're talking about 4-hour drive. With the new expressway, I think maybe it'll be cut in half, but it's still a long drive. And she said, she asked me, where are you now? And I said, oh, I'm in Alabang. And she said, so you're in Alabang. She said, be careful again. So ingat ka. So when girls want to just kind of keep the conversation going, and I said, yes. And she gives me a thumbs up. And she says, and I said, so what? Are we going to go to Jollibee again? And she says, ha, 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 ha. She says, that's embarrassing. Okay, now, hiya, in her context, she says embarrassing. But also, hiya is also, depending on the context, you could say shame, all right? So in the context she's saying, she goes, oh, I'm shy, I'm embarrassed to do Jollibee again. And the reason why she said was because I'm ugly. She goes, I'm ugly now, is what she's saying. She's embarrassed. She goes, ha ha ha, she's embarrassed. So this is the flirting or the affection that was kind of going back and forth. And she says, when girls say, I'm embarrassed and I'm ugly now, what she wants to do when a girl when a girl, this is pretty universal. When a girl puts herself down, you're supposed to compliment her and says, "No, you're not ugly," or "No, you're not this." When it's kind of like she wants to be, she wants to get excited. You complimenting her, and what I say was, and it says, I go, so I said, because she's using it the same word to get embarrassed, but this time I'm using my play on words is like, well, you have no embarrassment. But in the way I used it, you have, instead of saying you have no embarrassment, because of the context, saying, why are you getting embarrassed? You have no shame. So it's kind of, it'll go over your heads, but over here, it's pretty funny. So I go, well, it's like my play on words. It's like, okay, I'm embarrassed, and the way she's using the word is embarrassed, and the way I'm using it is, well, you have no shame. Wala ka namang hiya is what I'm saying. And she says, you just think that. Akala mo lang. So we're just joking back and forth. You're just thinking that, or that's what you thought is what she said. It's like, oh, you have no shame. So I said, well, yeah, pag ayaw mo, di kita pilitin. So, well, if you don't want, then I'm not gonna force you, or I'm not going to coax you, is what I'm saying. And she said, yep. And I just told her, simula ako maghanap ngayon ng sponsors natin ulit. So I'm just looking for friends. So I told her I'm just looking for sponsors again. I'm just getting started, which is not really true. I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm just kind of telling her what she wants to hear. Just to get it back to the old days again, back before I went to prison, that was 3 years ago. So I'm looking for, so I told her I'm just getting started again, which is not really true, looking for friends with money. I mean, I guess if I find friends again with money, then we can, so that's kind of our word for friends with money is sponsors. It's just kind of like a word, an English word that they know already. They have instant recognition. But basically, we're looking for friends with money. And she said, and her reaction to it is, go lang. And she's like, go for it. Let's do this, is her reaction to it. And I said, basta wala kang baby, pwede kita mahanap ng sponsor. And I said, just as long as you don't have a baby, I can help you find a sponsor, which I think is a complete lie. Because like I said, the game, getting back into the game is different because the game has changed. So, but I just told her, I mean, this is just a conversation. It doesn't mean anything. So I just told her, just as long as you don't have a baby, I should be able to find you friends with benefits or friends with money. Because over here in the Philippines, people are desperate. I mean, because money is food, survival. So her reaction is, so I just told her, just as long as you don't have a baby, I should be able to find you a friend that will be good to her. And she said, no, I don't have a baby yet. Wala pa rin akong baby. So I said, just to confirm, kahit ngayon hindi ka pa buntis. Even now, you're not pregnant? She says, wala pa nga. So she's just like saying, don't be stubborn. I don't have one. Or I'm not even pregnant. And then I just joked again, bakit, why don't know what these girls, her friends or the girls in her network before, why don't they know the dads of their parents? And she says, I don't know what's up with them. So hindi ko alam mo, eh? Because I don't know. I was just probably beating a dead horse there. So I said, okay, I'll find you a sponsor again. And I said, what do you like? And she says, talaga hanapin mo ako. She goes, really? You're gonna find me a friend again? You're gonna find a friend for me? And she says, yes, just as long as you, so opo, basta wala kang baby. So I'll just kind of herd this up. And so just as long as you get the gist of it. I go, yes, just as long as you don't have a baby. That's what they like. That's what everybody likes. They don't want somebody with baggage already. Like Jim Bomb says, it's like he's not interested in taking over payments. He doesn't want to pay for a used car and take over payments and get all the problems. And because the baby comes first now. And the problem is, it's not even your baby. It's the Jejemon's baby. So nobody wants to get in that situation. Only people who don't know any better or who don't have a choice will get into a takeover payments of a Jejemon's baby. And taking care of a Jejemon's baby. I mean, life is hard enough. I mean, I take care of my baby because that's my baby, not a Jejemon's baby. So, and I said, malay mo, gusto ka nila idala sa America, gusto mo ba yun para masarap yung buhay mo. So I said, just as long as you have a baby. And I said, and who knows, they might like you and they'll bring you back to America with them. And so you'll have a better life. And she says, this is a response. And she says, Oo naman kahit sino eh. She says, yes, of course, no matter who would like something like that. So you can get the honest reaction from them because this is a reaction because she knows that this is only going to be a reaction. This is only going to be a conversation between her and I. So she's going to be more honest with her reaction, and her reaction is yes, of course. Who doesn't want to have a better life? Is what her reaction is. Okay, so I said, okay, then I'll find a way. And she said her reaction to it is salamat, which means thank you. And I said, opo, sayang lang yung buhay natin. Dapat maganda ang kinabukasan. So I said, yeah, we shouldn't waste our life and we should have a good future. And I said, I'll give you somebody rich and I'll give you somebody kind, is what I said over here. Bigyan kita ng mabait at mayaman, somebody that's rich and somebody that's kind. And then my joke and my joke is after I told her I'm going to give her somebody kind and somebody rich, and I said katulad ko, which means like me, is my reaction to, is my follow up. And this is her reaction, after I said, I'll give you somebody kind, I'll give you somebody rich. And she says, her reaction is, wow, ang bait mo, salamat. She goes, wow, you're too good to me. Thank you is what her reaction is. Wow, ang bait, salamat. She says, wow, you're too kind or you're good to me. Thank you. So, wow. So first it's like, wow, which is, I hate to say this. I mean, I think it's a complete lie. I mean, if somebody's gonna make an honest statement, then more power to it. Then it's not a real. Then I'm not lying to her. I'd like to think that I'm not lying to her, but at this point, I said that because I'm not sure and who's gonna watch this. So, but knowing who's gonna watch this, I can pretty much say that I'm actually lying through my teeth by telling her the part about me being rich and especially that part, me being rich and kind. I'm lying about that part, of course, but whether helping her, where I could help her find somebody rich and kind for her to take her to America, that's probably an even a bigger lie. But I mean, so lying to girls in this situation is just a conversation. But if I can find her somebody that will make a good woman out of her, so she doesn't have to become pregnant by a jejemon, then that would be good, and I would like that to happen. Like I said, I've always want somebody to do better, to do better than me versus some people that don't want them to be surpassed. So I mean that's just human nature, but I'm just kind of different that way. That's what makes me different from all the other bloggers, is they want to keep people below them. But I want people to have a good life also and to have a good future, even if it's better than mine. And I think the fact that I could put a stamp on it, put my legacy on it, I'm just as happy with that. Because if I don't, then she's gonna end up just like all her other friends, pregnant, single mom. They don't know the dad, and we already know what they're doing to. I even have a picture. Maybe I'll share a picture in one of these vlogs of them actually at work, and I'm like, oh, they take a selfie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know where she's at, why they're, what that scenario, the way it's set up. It's inside a fancy hotel. You could see somebody in the background. They're wearing, and at least it was a classy picture. It wasn't ghetto. But anyway, I'll get into that if people really request it. So, but I told her yes, but I told her, give her some reality, but it's not quick, and we need to be patient because the right person for her is going to take a long time, and it's going to require a lot of patience because, I mean, the reality, especially in this environment, he might not exist or he might not ever find this video. But, we can make as many videos as we want. But if you're not looking for her, you're never going to find her. So, and a lot of these people don't know what they're looking for, and they're looking in the wrong places. They're looking in the internet, they're looking on Tinder, they're looking on dating sites, they're looking at bars, and you're not going to find this girl there. So, I told her, mahirap maghanap na katulad ko. It's hard to find somebody like me. But I told her, pero merong na magtiyaga, pero meron magtiyaga lang. I go, it's hard, but we just need to be vigilant, is what my response. And she says, she agrees. She says, oh, alam ko naman yun. She goes, yes, I already know that. It's like, if you can, kaya mo magtiis habang hinahanap ko siya. I go, can you be vigilant? Can you be patient? Can you hang in there while I'm looking for him? She says, yes, I can wait for him. But it's, the answer is really, she's just telling me what I want to hear. But the answer is they can't wait forever. They just have a certain window where you could do this before eventually you're flipping the coin, and she's gonna get hit, and she's gonna get pregnant by a jejemon also while she's waiting. Because the number one reason why people have sex over here and have babies is because out of sheer pure boredom from waiting. Just when you're waiting, you just want something to do to kind of pass the time, and having sex is cheap, it's available, and it does the job. It passes the time. So I told her to be patient and vigilant, and don't. So I told her, Sige, just be careful. I'm telling her to be careful or be vigilant. Uh, and give me time. I don't get pregnant. I'll look for her, someone special for her. And she says, oh, sige. And I said, so I asked her, how old are you now? I said, so how old are you now? And she says, 19. So if you do the math, I knew her 3 years ago. She's 19 now. But as you could see, 19, she's 19 now. Like I said, the time passes. Okay, she's 19 now. 3 years ago, she wasn't 19. But look, you just instantly, she's just at the right age where somebody like Ned would marry her, right? 19 is the age that they exactly want. Yes, I know you're saying Ned is not old, and not only is older than her mom, Ned is also older than her grandma or her grandparents. It's like the girls would say in America, it's like they wouldn't want anything to do with Ned, because it's like they'll say like, he's older than my dad. Here in the Philippines, he's older than my grandparents is what they'll say. So that's why Ned is here in the Philippines, because if Ned was in America, I always say America is no country for old men. Instead of being with young girls and marrying them or knocking them up as he would, as Ned would do. And I'm not making this up. You can go to his channel. He knocks up young girls over here that's old enough to be his granddaughter. That's why he's here versus, so I'm just calling a spade over here. That's why Ned is here, because if he was in America, they put him in a nursing home. That's where he would belong. But instead, over here, he's doing spaghetti dinners. He's like the big white hope. He's the big white savior. So I'm not saying that's bad, or I'm not putting a negative light on it. I'm just saying that's what it is, okay? Let's just tell it like it is. So she said, she responds, she's 19. So she's also a teenager. So which Ned likes. I mean, he'll knock that up and get married to it. So that's the age that he likes also. So if you don't know, if you disagree, then go look at his channel. That's the same age as his wife is. I repeat, his wife and this girl is about the same age when he got her pregnant and now got married to her. Like I said, he's old enough not only to be older than her parents, Ned is old enough to be grandparents. Not saying that's negative. I'm just saying because this is the Philippines. When you have money, money changes everything. You make your own rules, and the rule is that you're supposed to marry somebody within your own age. Doesn't apply to you when you have money. So I told her 19. I said ayos, and I said that's perfect. I said hinog, which means hinog. The translation is like ripe. And hinog, you could also, the way I'm using it is like you're ready, but hinog means, it's kind of lost in translation over here. Hinog means ripe, and she says hinog. Hinog, what do you mean by hinog? Because usually you say that for fruits or for harvesting because it's ripe. Ripe, it's just talking about fruits. So let's say a mango or any fruit, and it's ready, and it's ripe. That means it's ready. So she's asking, ripe. What do you mean by ripe? As her response. And I said, like literally, I said, pwede na pitasin. It's like, ripe, which means it's ready to be picked. Okay, so you see the play on word? So it's like, I continue it. I said, right on, you're ripe. And she says, ripe. I go, what? She goes, what do you mean by ripe? And I said, you're ready to be picked. You're ready to be harvested. And of course, she gets the joke now. She says, ha, 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 ha. So I told her, okay, just tell me, say, sabihin mo na lang bumalik ka na when chat mo ako and libre kita. And she says, so I told her that's, the translation is that, okay, just let me know when you come back and I'll chat with you and I'll treat you. And she says, really talaga, ha 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 ha. Bait mo naman, which means you're too kind or you're too good to me. And I said, okay, sure, no problem. I'll get you Angel's Burger. Buy one, take one. Angel's Burger is like the poor man's Whopper. It's just like, it's all filler. just has like meat flavoring, but it's cheap, and you could like buy one take one for like it's like $2. They're like $1 each, but they kind of force you to buy, and so they sell it for $2, and you get another one. So it's kind of like the Jedi mind trick or Vulcan mind trick, where they try to convince you that you're getting something for free when you're not actually not. So it's like, okay, the burger is $2, but you get one for free. So it's like buy one take one. So it's really cheap. So it's kind of like the joke. She says it's something like poor people do, and she says ha 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 ha. So Angel's Burger, buy one take one, because you don't really get it. It's just something the kids get, and they're like happy, and they can share with their friends. So you buy one and you give the other one to your friend. Take one, buy one, take one. So she laughs, ha ha. So you get a reaction, and I said champre, which means of course. So we kind of left it at that. I kind of logged off because I had to go do something else. So I just wanted to let everybody know this is the conversation I had with her. So let me tell you about this girl. Like I said, she's 19. She's a teenager. She doesn't have any kids yet. And I even heard rumors or from secondhand parties that she may have. I mean, that's just like a rumor that she did, but she ended it, which is kind of like that's a tough decision. And in her situation, in this time, I don't blame her. But like I said, it's just a rumor that maybe somebody jealous started, or maybe somebody that was jealous that she's not the only one that's not pregnant, that they could start that. Because I'll hear stuff in the fringes, and somebody who's jealous that's a single mom, she says, oh yeah, don't think that she's better than us, so because there's like a shame for being a single mom and not knowing who the dad is, and then that's her way of not, oh, she did too, but she ended it. I mean, you of course you give her the benefit of the doubt. You don't know, but that's past. It's past now. I mean, if she doesn't know, if she's not ready, but that's her choice. Something she has to live with. And she's young. She made a mistake. No big deal. Or it never happened, and somebody jealous, and it could be just like I said, the toss of a coin, and she's been lucky and she hasn't been hit yet. The point I wanted to make here is we have a wonderful opportunity over here. She's a beautiful girl. She's still young. She's young enough. She's not damaged. I think just as long as she's doesn't have a baby, she has a good chance of being she's young enough that you can make an honest, loyal, loving, good woman out of her. But like I said, it's just a window. And it only takes a split second for something bad to happen to her where she's not anymore. But as you can see, I still think that she still has that light in her eyes that you could grow into the woman, and she's still young enough anyway, that you could grow her into the perfect soulmate for you if anybody's as interested. Unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie to you. She does have a lot of tattoos, but it's the new technology now. You can remove those tattoos. So I'm not gonna hold. It's not permanent, is what I'm saying. Tattoos are not permanent now these days. You can get it removed, and she'll be clean as a whistle after that. So there's nothing that she's done that you can't undo. She's so badly damaged. As you can see from our conversation alone, she still has hope, and she's a cute girl, beautiful face. If she was in America, everybody would be like stepping on each other to get to know her. Great body, and probably hate to say this, but Hemi would probably like her jugs. That's probably one of the things you notice about her. She's very well endowed. But she has a cute face also. She's one of our friends. Does she have the cutest face? There's other girls that have cuter faces, but to each his own. She cuts the mustard that she's got, that she's cute already, but she has a hot body. Like I said, if you saw her, especially in America, people would say, wow. But the point I wanted to make is that I'm getting a message here. Anyway, the point I wanted to make here is she's perfect, or she's not perfect, but she has the potential to be perfect, not like the other ones that already have Jejemon babies that you would have to take over payments for. Actually, that's not my term. That's Jim Bob's terms that I'm actually using. And Jim Bob, thank you very much again for Heroes Training. He could do one training session and a whopper for his contribution. So, like I said, any man would be happy. She's perfect, as you could see. For her, she was like somebody like me, and like me, I'm like I said, I'll be honest. I'm already in my 40s, But to her, it does, as you can see from her reaction, that doesn't happen. Really, somebody like you, for that I can get, like, I'm actually to I know it's gonna disappoint a lot of people, that I'm actually ideally what they want. Obviously, I can't be the man, that I can never take the place of their real man, because I already have my own family. I already have my own soulmate. I already have my own kids. But for somebody out there that's watching this who doesn't have, and would like to have somebody, she would make a good person. She would make a good wife. She'd be loyal. She'd be all those things, that what Filipina qualities that you're looking for, and will stand by your side no matter what. Yet, but like I said, there's just a window so far, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how long this window is. So it's like, it's not. This is one of those things that you can just put on a shelf and then come back when you're ready. When you come back, it's not going to be the same. Like I said, she's already when I first met her, she didn't have any tattoos. Fast forward 3 years later, and I also have a lot of other stories that I can talk about, especially regarding attorney Mark. Okay, because he's disappeared, and it's kind of like I've been hearing rumors, or I can't confirm it, but his disappearance has definitely confirmed, or is consistent with the stories they've been saying. But anyway, that's another time for another live stream. This thing has gone long enough. I just wanted to say, here we have. Let's just wrap this up. Here we have a wonderful opportunity. A young woman. She doesn't have a baby yet. She wants to have a better life. She's looking for her soulmate, whether he sees this video or he does anything about it. But as you can see, she has no problem, because she's looking for someone like me. Doesn't matter what the age is, just as long as that will take care of her and treat her right, and she will return the favor. But like I said, whether there's other people out there like me that are single, that will actually are men of action, that will do anything about it, I don't know. There's times where I lose my religion and I give up hope. But maybe, just maybe, I made this video, the right person will meet her, and you won't be disappointed. You'll be like going, wow. You'll be attracted to her physically, and then yes, you'll have the age difference, you'll have the cultural difference, like I said. But she's young enough that you can make her into the perfect person that you actually want her to be. Anyway, that's all I could say right now. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. I'm really easy if you have any more questions about her. But here, I'll help out. If you want to know what she looks like, go to Quincy Kubo's. He only has like 2 videos, and in one of those videos, she's there. If you look at the TikTok video, she's in there, and she's the one, and you could probably pick her out. She's the one, if you're smart enough, or if you actually do your diligence, Quincy will say, this is to kind of help Quincy out with his channel. Go over there, increase his views, and she's actually one of the girls in the TikTok videos, and you can tell which one she is, because she's the one well endowed, and she'll probably stick out, and you probably go, well endowed in tattoos, is it this one? And you're like, yeah. If that's what you if you think, if she's, like I said, I think she looks great. I would be happy to be with someone like her. I would be very fortunate. And if that's something you like, give me a call. Maybe send me a message. Maybe we'll arrange something. Maybe something beautiful will happen to it. And I always say, as long as we have life, we have a future, and anything is possible. We can have any future that we want. So I know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to watch this, that is successful, that is kind, that is smart, but they don't have the wherewithal or connection to make with them. Well, here it is. I'm offering it. So I'm not asking for anything. I'm just helping out my country, my sisterhood over here, my sisters here in the Philippines, and for you also, so you can be happy also, because that's the key to happiness, is because if you don't make a special connection with somebody that you can have a to enjoy life with, then it's not this is what makes worth life living, and without it, it's hard to enjoy life. Anyway, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I mean, whether you subscribe or not, it's no big deal. This channel is going to be deleted anyway. I'm going to start all over, but it's not like, just because there's pretty much, I'm not like Sissy where you can bully me off the internet, and that's what a lot of these channels are. There's like a bully channel, and then of course, like a lot of bullies, they have a lot of bully supporters, because what was it, like beta males, this is all they can ever accomplish or achieve. But anyway, and since they can't be anything else, they might as well bully people. So it's just like a bunch of bullies. But I mean, I really can't there isn't really much I could say more other than that. But anyway, this is Bevels only. Like I said, I hope something good comes out of it from making this video, as you could see. And I already kind of told you I left you some breadcrumbs. If you're interested in her and you want to see what she looks like, go to Quincy Coban, whatever his channel is, and check her out in the TikTok video. If you could see a sexy girl with a cute pretty face, and she's well endowed, and and as you can see, she's got some visible tattoos, but she doesn't have a baby yet. There's still a chance, there's still an opportunity, but time is ticking. So if you want to do something about it, then do something about it. If not, at least we tried. Anyway, this is Vendetta. Thanks for watching.